realized I left my pouch. And I said, okay, I'll get the pouch when I come home from work. And I worked the graveyard shift, and I took a cab. And I knocked at the door. He said, why don't you come in and, look for yourself? He went on a tangent about Judy, about how she stole. He said he had a watch that was missing. He grabbed me, and he felt that he should be compensated with sex in place of his missing watch. This man done grabbed me. So that there done brought back old memories for me in ways that you can't even imagine. So then he grabs me by my neck. I'm trying to grasp for air. And I could just feel it like, this man is trying to kill me. But he was talking about violating me a minute ago. So how did we get to this point here? And I reach into the sink and I grab the first thing that I could get my hands on. He has both his hands on my throat, so I can't reach his face. So I said, okay, I'm gonna catch him like on the side. And when I look, I have a knife in my hand and there's blood dripping off this knife. I just instantly got mad, like, look what you made me do. I turned myself in. The bottom line is that I stabbed this man. It's hard when you grow up under the Christianity that I grew up under and know that that's one of the commandments, thou shalt not kill.
I think that they actually thought it was somebody else and that I was covering up for them. Whether they didn't believe that someone like me, whatever that may be as being me, could actually do it, or didn't fit the stereotyping that you normally find for a battered woman. I had told them whatever I could tell, whatever I felt comfortable in telling them about my relationship with my husband. Because believe it or not, I think in my own sick way, I was still trying to protect my husband.
They questioned me. I told them what happened. I realized I should have asked for a lawyer, but I didn't know. They didn't ask about the abuse. They didn't ask nothing about what he did to me, the shooting. That's all they wanted to know about.
I took my case to trial. It didn't matter that he had a history of this. Didn't matter. I think to them, just the fact that he was dead.
One day he was beating me so bad in the hallway. And another neighbor, she came out and tried to break it up. And he flipped her on the floor and put his knee to her chest. She came to court, she testified. They didn't believe that. And I think it was the jury. They didn't understand about domestic violence, period.
The district attorney actually did absolutely nothing, in my opinion, in terms of having even a belief with the battered woman syndrome. He didn't want to look at any particulars. He didn't want to look at circumstances that led up to anything. For him, it was a clear-cut case. I have hospital records that show me going into the emergency room, but because I didn't state that it was at the hands of my abuser, it held weight, but it didn't hold that much weight.
Some judges understand domestic violence and so will allow some of the testimony about the abuse to enter in. Other judges do not allow anything that happened before. The person who was deceased is now considered the victim. And so you're making that victim look bad.
I can't change that, I can't bring him back to life. All I can do is just pray for his family. I wind up getting 9 to 18 years. I was stuck for a minute, because I did have a daughter, and, I thought of her, I thought of my mother, the two people in the world that I cared the most about. I completed 11 years.
I took a plea to manslaughter in the first. I actually got the max on the sentence, 8 1/3 to 25, and I served 17.
They convicted me of second-degree murder. They sentenced me to 17 to life. I couldn't believe it. The judge, he made it sound like he sentenced me because that was what he had to do with the law. That's the way I felt. And then when I come up for clemency, he wrote a letter in my behalf.
When I came off the bus, I just kept saying to myself, oh my God, they actually have a prison for women. I was curious as to what were all these women doing here in prison.
As a survivor of domestic violence, you feel that like you're the only one that's going through this, you know, and no one would understand why you're going through it or any of that stuff. And then when you get a group of women together and you hear their stories, some of it is extremely similar to what you're going through.
When they closed that cell door, the first time they closed that cell door, and this might sound crazy, but I said to myself, I said, you know, you're here, you're not with your family, but you're alive. Had nobody threatening me, nobody hitting me. When the door's locked, I said, okay, I'm safe.
Prison has changed me in so many ways. I never thought that people lived the lives that they lived. Most of them are incest survivors, rape victims. I think for the women, a lot of them give up hope. It's sad. It really is. It's sad. They give them all of this time, and the one thing that they fail to acknowledge is that the system failed them before they even got to that point.
Walking out of Bedford, that was the happiest moment in my life. We went to a restaurant and I ate a hamburger, which I had a real hamburger in 13 years.
The transition is not actually a very easy process. When you come out, it's really a hard pace.
My daughter and I has always been close, always. I was so happy just to see her, just to hold her, just to touch her, you know, without having to be in the visiting room and, you know, just spend time with my grandson and stay up all night and talk.
I started maintaining relationships with people that I knew at the agency where I'm at now, at the Women's Prison Association, and when a position became available, I applied for it and I got it. And that's where I've been ever since. Trying to make a foundation for myself and my partner and our family. The ability to still have a healthy relationship with somebody is very, very important to me.
I got a nice boyfriend now. It was good. But I'm still skeptic about these men. You know, and I can't help that. And he knows what I went through. I told him the truth and everything.
Every day I stay in the trenches trying to change policy, trying to just help people that are coming out of prison get on their feet.
When I think about people hurting people that they love, no matter what gender they are, that this needs to stop, that we need to have a change in society that says it is no longer right to hurt somebody that you say that you love. And that dream's going to become a reality someday.
Waking up every morning, you know, waking up every morning, not being behind bars is one thing, but waking up every morning and being productive and doing the work that I do.
I'm so proud of that, what I accomplished now, that I'm out, I'm working, I'm healthy, I can walk the streets, I can put on what I want to put on, I don't have to worry about nobody hitting me, and I'm just free.